Welcome everybody to the Misscliks Dungeon World one-off. Finally, for real.
3 off
this time. 3 off.
1.75 off.
How are you guys doing?
Great.
So good.
Yeah. Are we ready to actually do this for realsies?
Yes.
Realsies.
All right.
I'm ready to play the first 15 minutes of the game again, and then the rest of the game after that.
Yes.
All right, take it away, Adam.
Okay, well, this is Dungeon World. For anybody who doesn't know already, Dungeon World is a fantasy adventure role-playing game. If you don't know what a role-playing game is, you might be in the wrong place, so I'm going to tell you anyway. I am the game master. I control all of the character and setting that the PCs, the player characters, will be interacting with, and each of my esteemed players has their own character that they're going to be in control of. We're going to be describing what our characters are doing. They're going to be exploring the world that I exposed them to, and we're going to try and come out the other end having had a good time and not too many of us dying. Well, I won't die. They might. So what I want to do to get started, I'll just remind everybody about our setting. The world that the game takes place in is a massive planar cosmopolitan area. It's a city made up of pieces of different planes that have been consumed by the city. So the city is sort of an entity that eats other worlds and incorporates them into itself. So all of the characters are going to be a little bit different than you might be used to from most fantasy games. They're a little weird. The setting's a little weird, and be prepared for just about anything as we go through the game. The characters are currently operating as mercenaries. They're a gang of ne'er-do-wells living on the bad side of town, trying to make a buck and get by. And currently, they seem to be caught in between the power struggle of a couple of other gangs in the city. The last time that we played, if anybody caught it, you'll remember the characters are escorting a figure of some prominence, a Lord Snuff. We actually haven't seen him yet, so I'll get to describe him early on. They were ambushed by a gang of men and women wearing red sashes, the symbol of the Red Sashes gang. They escaped, decided not to stay and fight, which is probably a good call. Their friend Lord Snuff took a crossbow bolt to the chest, but Neil's character saved his life. The crossbow bolt may or may not still be there. We'll see. And they escaped out into the city, heading for home. Home is the slum of Ditchwater. It's a crappy part of town where the characters have a flop house that they're staying at. So they're on their way there now. So what I'm going to do is I'll get everybody to tell us a little bit about your character. Tell us your character's name, your class, anything that you think is pertinent about your character that you want our audience to know about, and remind the other players about it. And then tell us your bonds with the other players so that we know kind of where we're starting at. So Neil, why don't we start with you? Tell us about your.
My name is Leo. I am a turtle man, about 3.5 feet tall. I have two swords. I have a sword. Sorry, it's been a while since I've looked at this character.
Good job showing us your face.
Oh, sorry. Yes. I have a sword, a blue bandana. I don't know. I'm a turtle dude walking around. I'm kind of friendly, but a little bit immature. My character's on the youngish side. He's got a couple of brothers all together, and we all grew up together. But he's gone off on to do his own thing while his brothers all hang out and be, teenagers and eat pizza and stuff. So that's me.
Awesome. Anybody else who wants to go next, jump in.
I'll go. All right. My name is Lyzel. I am a fairy goblin. I come from Sapphire Islands, which is its own cat plane. Every animal on our plane is some version of some weird cat mixed with a million other things. Everyone from my islands has sapphire eyes. That's our tell. I am a heathen or a druid. So when I shapeshift, I keep my sapphire eyes. I carry a shillelagh.
Yeah,
My weapons.
excellent pronunciation.
Yeah, did I get it right?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, sweet. Okay.
For anyone who doesn't speak Welsh, that means stick. She has a stick.
Does it really mean stick?
I think it means club, technically. It's like a stick for
so.
hitting people with.
Awesome.
Totally. And yeah, my bonds.
Let's save the bonds till we
Save them?
introduce all the characters.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's
people
it
have a
for me,
frame of
then.
reference.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Who's next?
I'll go next. Because I don't really want to go behind Lyzel. She's really good. I mean, behind Sharr. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. So I am a half elf and half infused spiritual bee. And that happened during my birth, where elves do some like magical ritual, and then a bee came through and it stung me just as I was being born. And then amongst all the ritual and magical powers, it actually got infused into my spirit, and that's how I got the powers of telekinetic powers, where I could move and manipulate objects, and I can fly and I can sting people as well. And I am from the sugar plain, where everyone eats candy, and that's like our main source of food. And yeah, so you probably see me eating a lot of candy throughout the show.
Awesome.
It's so good.
So this is the point after Liv describes her character. This is the point where the stream usually crashes. So I think we're doing pretty good.
We're doing
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it's down again.
Aw.
Don't even.
All right,
All right.
Sharr.
So my name is Sharr. I am playing the Savage, which is the Dungeon World Hunter class, Ranger class. I am a young dwarf, and I have really crazy, thick, wavy gray hair, almost like a thick wolf mane. And I come from the hills called Copperwall. And my people have a custom where our young dwarves partake in journeyman trials, which is essentially just us venturing off, taking as long as we want to like learn all we can from the land and then return to our home. So I'm currently doing that. I have a cool cloak that was once a linen traveling cloak, but it's so like covered in dirt and grime and stuff from my travels that it actually has a thick layer of moss grown on top of it. So if I cover myself with it, I can disguise myself as basically a little boulder. And I also have a pet who is a woolly worm. He is a giant woolly worm, and he is adorable, but he's a little stubborn. Doesn't really listen to me all the time, but I love him to death.
Awesome. All right, so Neil, do you want to tell us your bonds with the other characters, and then we'll go through in the same order or similar, and then we can get started.
B owes me their life, whether they admit it or not. I have sworn to protect Lyzel. Me and Lyzel were both hired by a boss who's turned on us. Sharr stood up to me and got away with it. That's how it is, I guess.
Awesome.
And my lineman is good.
Cool.
Okay. B smells more like prey than a hunter, which makes sense because she's from Candy Island.
Delicious
so-
sugary prey.
Leo is familiar with the sickness that infects this city, which must be purged. And Sharr has tasted my blood and I theirs, and we are bound by it.
That's great.
Is that the one I did last one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good.
Because it was so intense. I
Feel
remember.
free to retcon as you need. It's not like we got
I'm-
it
yeah.
last time.
I'm also good.
My bonds are Lyzel has been to my homeland more recently than I have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Leo's ways are strange and confusing. Sharr is always getting into trouble. I must protect them from themselves. And my last one is Sharr shares my hunger for glory. The earth will tremble at our passing.
Glory.
Oh, yeah. All right, should I do mine?
Go for it.
All right, my bonds are Lyzel and I took down a great beast once and paid for it dearly.
That's right. I remember the giant bear.
Yeah,
yeah.
the owlbear.
Yeah.
Leo is a friend of the city, so I will be their friend as well. Clearly knows something about the city.
Mhm.
And B does not understand life in the wild, so I will teach them.
Cool.
Just
Cool.
realized it was an owlkin. That's a better, right? Okay.
Cool. All right. So the first thing that we need to do before gameplay starts is I need everybody to roll 2d6 and add nothing. We're going to see how much power your heritage moves have. So in this version of Dungeon World, instead of codified race moves, because the races are so broad, everyone has access to heritage moves, which are a bit like the druid's ability to shapeshift. So everybody's got a couple of things that they can do as a result of the culture they were brought up in or their natural abilities. So at the beginning of every session, everyone rolls 2d6, and they don't add a stat, and then their result will indicate how many points they get. And I think, wow, you guys all rolled really poorly. Good job.
Yes.
Okay, so Lyzel and B, you guys have one use this session of your heritage moves, and then Leo and Sharr both have 2. So keep track of that somewhere.
Okay.
Let me know when you want to use them. Yeah, we're ready to go. So I think we ended the last game with you guys escaping from the crowded streets where your wagon, the wagon that had been pulling your escort, with it had been ambushed. There was some kind of fire trap, and you were attacked by the red sashes. But thanks to Leo's shell protecting you from arrows and B's telekinetic powers, you managed to escape more or less unharmed, I think. So you all escaped into the crowd with the intention to meet again in Ditchwater. But when you arrive at the bridge that separates Ditchwater from the surrounding area, this bridge is sort of the main way to get into that district. You notice that the city has done something that the city does sometimes, and it's shifted. The Ditchwater Bridge goes about a half a mile out over a canyon, and then is sheared off right at the edge. And peering over this massive drop, you can see down into mist. Whether there's another district down there or not, it's hard to say, but your home has up and wandered off.
Oh, great.
So you guys, from where you're standing, you don't know where you are. You can see the district around you is part of the same plane the Ditchwater came from. So it's pretty much sort of a standard gravity. The air isn't made out of fire or anything, so you can survive here. But you don't know whose territory, like what gang's territory you're in, or what's around. So from here, this is where Lord Snuff kind of emerges from the cloak he's been cowering under the whole time. And you guys all get a good look at him now. Lord Snuff's only about 4 feet tall. He's kind of greasy looking. He's wearing a vest and no shirt. He's sort of round, and he has goat legs and little tiny horns sticking out of his forehead. Yes. Any of you who might recognize a satyr, you know that's what this guy is. And with some alarm, anyone who isn't Leo, you notice he's got the end of a crossbow bolt sticking out of his belly, but he doesn't seem to be hurt. The bolt is just sort of coming out as if it were meant to be there. So he looks around, kind of in panic, and then, addressing no one in particular, says, "Well, where the hell are we? This isn't my house. What's wrong with you people? What's going on?" What do you do?
Well, the plane seems to have shifted. We were trying to take you to safety. We were being attacked. Do you know why we were being attacked?
He kind of tugs on his vest and he's like, "Because I'm very important and people would like my company. What do you think we were attacked? I hired you to protect me." Looks around again, kind of sighs in despair. He's like, "Well, I guess I'm stuck with you. Where are we going?"
Well, firstly, I need to ask Lord Snuff, since we were hired to protect you and we have done our job, where is our payment?
Hey. He walks over to you and kind of looks up at you and pokes you in the hip. It's like, "You get paid when I get home safe." And at this distance now, he's gotten like closer to you. You can smell like he smells terrible, like sweat and smoke. And he's kind of pale, and you can see he's like getting really sweaty. It's not particularly hot out, and he's kind of shaking. Like there's something wrong with him.
Do we have a healer class? I can't remember.
I don't.
I know I'm not.
Not either.
Well,
Does
during the last session, Leo fed him one of his healing potions, which is why he's
that's
not
right.
dead from the crossbow bolt.
Right.
He hasn't seemed to notice the end of the bolt sticking out of him, but it
I-
doesn't seem to be causing him any pain.
I
forgot
don't
about
mention it. I kind of.
Just avert your eyes.
Yeah, if it's not bleeding, I ignore it.
You
for
don't
sure.
look at the crossbow bolt.
Does anyone have any thoughts? Where we should go? How do we find this shifted plane? I wasn't
Are
here
there
when
any
this happened
people
last.
Yeah. There's people kind of. You guys are standing by the edge of the bridge. No one's really using it because it just kind of now goes off into nothing.
Yeah.
And you're sort of standing in the middle of the road, and there are people moving around you. You get a lot of dirty looks, like get out of the way. But they seem to be mostly human. They're dressed in. I mean, this wouldn't be the frame of reference for your characters, but they're dressed like Victorian kind of era, like top hats and petticoats and stuff.
Is that common dress for where we're from?
I don't know. Why don't you spout lore and we'll find out what you know about common human dress. So to make a spout lore roll 2d6 and add your intelligence.
Okay.
Let's see what Lyzel knows about these people.
And add my int. The small number after, right?
Yeah, the modifier. Ooh, all right. So
So I asked.
on a fail,
Bad.
yeah, on a fail, I get to make a move. So you take a second. You're looking around at all these kind of humans coming and going, and you spot someone familiar coming towards you. You spot the man first. There's two of them. His name is Haig. You know this guy. Haig is one of the guys
Leo.
that saved you and Sharr from the owlbear or whatever.
It was that big.
Yeah, he's one of the lamp blacks.
He is, okay.
Yeah, and him and Lizette worked for Morriston, who was the gang boss that screwed you guys over. So you make eye contact with Haig, he sees you, and then you notice there are a couple of other lamp black like goons with him, and he starts making a beeline towards you.
Oh God. I fly to safety.
Buzz away.
Yeah,
Dude.
it's my move, man.
Well, I mean, so you can fly all the time because you got wings. If you want to
Yeah.
just exempt yourself from any danger, you can use your heritage
No,
move
I
hold
won't-
and you
I
get the
won't
fuck out of
use it.
there.
I will wait and see what, because I can fly away whenever I want. So
Okay,
I'll see
so
what's- I
think-
want to warn my party first.
yeah, I was gonna say, Leo, you're a veteran of combat. You know tense situations. I think you notice Lyzel staring at someone, and you follow her gaze, and you see Haig coming towards you.
I don't draw my sword, but I rest my hand on it and kind of just try and act tough and strong silent
Okay.
type, like a real bodyguard. Just like
Nice. Okay.
I take one step back. So just kind of in front.
Sharr and B, what are you guys gonna do?
I'm just kind of like fidgeting, like clearly uncomfortable, and like
Okay.
kind of positioning myself slightly behind my worm.
Okay. and B, you've got Lord Snuff like right up in your as much in your shit as he can be. But yeah, the stink of him is wafting up towards you. So maybe you're distracted. Your eyes are a little watery. What do you want to do? You see the rest of your party get kind of tense.
Okay, well, I can feel my party getting tense around me, so I kind of sense what's going on and that there's a danger approaching. But my main focus is actually on Lord Snuff and his smell.
Okay.
I still want to try and protect him because I'm seeking this payment soon
Okay.
from Lord Snuff. But I'm still pretty oblivious to the fact that this guy is beelining toward us.
Okay, so if he gets attacked, I think you and Leo both, one of you can roll and the other can help. You guys are ready to defend him if you need to, so you'll get a chance to do that if worse comes to worse. So I think Lord Snuff notices everybody get tense and kind of obliviously looks around. He's like, "Hey, what? what are we looking at? What's going on? And he kind of like looks around and just sees people moving. And then Haig approaches. So Haig's not human. Sharr, what is he? You're familiar with this dude?
He is a half-orc.
Nice. Okay.
Half-orc, half
Goblin.
goblin.
Oh, okay. Cool.
That's why he notices me.
Right. Okay. So I'm guessing then that you, Sharr, your people and his people don't really get along so much.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right. So Haig approaches, and as he does, his goons kind of blend into the crowd. And unless anyone wants to make a concerted effort to like keep track of them, you'll lose track of them. If you do, though, you're gonna kind of have to take a backseat to the conversation. Does anybody want to try and keep an eye on those guys?
I really just want to keep an eye on Haig.
Okay.
Like a close eye on Haig.
Okay. All right. So having made eye contact with Lyzel, Haig, walks up. And he's dressed a bit like the sort of half-orc equivalent of like a character in like a Jonathan Swift novel. Like he's kind of ratty, and like I said, he's got like a bowler hat on and like fingerless wool gloves. And he's got a big, like scary, like hunting knife on his belt. He likes to show off. It's his best friend. And he walks up to you guys and says to Lyzel, he's like, "Oh, well, aren't you a fish out of water? Good to see you in the neighborhood."
How are you, Haig?
I've been better. But now I see, and he looks around and makes pointed eye contact with everyone who will look at him among you. He's like, "But now I see I have friends. How about we all go get a drink? You can bring your," and he squints at Lord Snuff as if he like doesn't already know who he is. He's like, you can bring a new friend and introduce me."
We have business.
He looks like taken aback, and he's like, "Well, why don't you cut your old friend Haig in on this business? Maybe I can help you." And he looks over his shoulder at the bridge, and he's like, "You're not going home anytime soon."
Well,
How close is he to us?
He's standing right in front of Lyzel, but he's probably 3 or 4 paces away from you.
I have no idea how to react.
So if at any point anyone wants to try and get a read on him or a read on the situation, you can make a discern realities move.
I'll do that now then.
Yeah, you want to do that? Okay, so
Yeah.
while he's distracted with Leo, you take a second to take stock. Okay, so roll and add your wisdom.
Do 2d6
Yep,
plus
2d6
wisdom.
plus your wisdom modifier. Okay, all right, so you got a 7 to 9 result. So you can ask me one of those questions on the discern realities list. It's on the first page of the basic.
One of them?
Yep.
Okay. Who's really in control here?
Well, you guys have the advantage of your guest. You have something Haig wants, so there's that working in your favor. But there are other lampblacks around, and they've prepared. Like they saw you coming, and they're prepared. So if things go bad, control will shift very quickly. As long as you can keep it civil and you keep it on parlay level, then you guys have the upper hand. But if he decides to get rough, then you're a bit outmatched.
Okay. I say to Haig, would you mind giving us a moment to discuss what you just presented with us, just over here?
He puts his hands up, kind of like, I guess so.
Cool.
Okay.
And
So
I take my party aside.
Yeah, he takes a polite half step backwards as though that's enough, and then you kind of go away.
Yeah. Okay.
So what do you think, guys? We can't really go anywhere.
I'm concerned that if we don't go and have a drink that we'll fight. But I also think that if we go and have a drink, we're gonna get
I know.
we're gonna get robbed, basically.
What if we take him hostage?
Haig?
Yeah. His buddies are here, but he's alone for the moment. He doesn't have any bodyguards around him.
So Lyzel is you know, at least the last you knew of the gang before they were absorbed by the Lampleks. Is Haig important enough to be a hostage?
Yeah.
Okay. So
For
he's
sure.
he's like a lieutenant or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a trusted consult from Mortensen.
Okay, cool.
Mortensen?
Morriston. Yeah.
Morriston.
Who's important in
How confident are we in our hostage capturing skills and being able to keep this guy alive at the same time? We have the satyr to
Are you
protect.
guys having this conversation with Lord Snuff like around, or did you just leave him with Haig?
Good point.
I would have brought him into the fold.
Okay, so when you say that, he's like, I'm standing right here.
I'm looking. It's your best interest in my head. Okay.
I mean, we get a sword to this guy. I think the other guys are gonna fall back and let us go home.
We don't know how to get home.
Well, we're going to Snuff's place, right?
Is Snuff's place in the city?
Yeah, everything is in the city.
Yeah. We have no idea where the city is. So, do we know, are like people just waiting around this bridge like to come for it to come back? Does that seem like what's going on?
So Ditchwater is not really a place anyone goes on purpose. It's like a ghetto, right? It's pretty terrible. It's like one step up from the like river of sewage that runs under part of the city. So there's not a lot of people like waiting here. You maybe notice people coming to use the bridge and then kind of looking around like, oh well, I guess I'll find another way, and then leaving. But it's a gamble to like just stand and wait for the district to come back. It'll appear somewhere, but it might be better to try and go find it.
So, what do you think, Leo? Could we negotiate the finding of our town through this somehow?
Well,
Maybe we
I
could
have
go to
some
the bar,
magical,
order some food.
I have
What be?
some magical elf candy. Maybe we could offer him as a bargaining tip.
Yeah, is elf candy like known to be a delicacy? Like you wouldn't be able to get it anywhere else?
Well, it's only offered in my plane. Lyzel goes there all the time to grab some. She
Right.
knows what it's like.
It's good.
Okay.
What does
So
it do?
what does it do, B?
Yeah.
It's sweeter than every other candy, and it makes you stronger for only a small amount of time.
I imagine it's probably different for elves too than it is like if you give it to a human or something, it's probably more like amphetamines than anything. Like you probably feed him enough, he'll have a heart attack.
No,
Hey now.
that's a good idea. He's not human though. He's
No,
half
it's
orc.
true.
What if we go have a drink to negotiate splitting the terms? We try to get him drunk, feed him a bunch of elf candy, get him to tell us the secret of how to find the house, and then we bail.
So he may not know how to get back to Ditchwater. Like
Sure.
the Lampleks, their headquarters isn't in Ditchwater.
Oh, okay.
It may be in
true.
the neighborhood. There are people in the city. The Sultana, the woman who runs the city, she employs 15 sort of immortal like caretakers called the Road Wardens.
Oh, okay.
And if you found a Road Warden, they could probably tell you where it is, but dealing with them is a little weird. They're kind of like demigods and sort of hard to. Their alien thinking is a little hard to negotiate. But if you could find one of those, they could definitely tell you where to go.
Should we just fight our way out then, Leo?
I don't know. I could go get some food. Bars have food, right?
Yeah, Lord Snuff puts his hand up. He's like, I would like to drink, actually, if I get a vote.
Yeah. Can
Also,
we go to
Alright.
that serves
I just
pizza?
noticed that I've been impaled, so if we could get someone to take a look at that.
I
Kind of like.
Don't worry about it.
on
It's fine. It's fine, dude. Yeah, let's go get some
Yeah.
pizza,
Alright.
guys. Let's go
Okay.
get some pizza.
All
and beer.
right.